Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Yes, Pan by storm, and the storm has taken over the Now Morning Show this morning as we're having a conversation about Pan moving forward. To do so, I want to welcome the leader/president of Pan moving forward, Aquil Arundel, the vice president, Robert Hernandez, and the public relations officer, Lesedi Felix. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's a pleasure
Morning
to
to
be here.
you.
How are we doing this morning? We all right?
Very good.
Things
Very
nice.
All right, let me start with you, Mr. President. Explain to me what Pan moving forward is and what it's all about.
All right, so PAN Moving Forward is a group of band leaders who came together to help other band leaders. And this happened particularly through the COVID period.
Right.
So we would have had a number of projects during that time, and we continued on to the present, right? A lot of the stuff happened based on critical assessment of the organization, which is the Pan Trinbago organization.
Right.
And that assessment would have happened by going to the Panyards and having a discussion with the band leaders. Now, whilst we had that discussion, we realized that there are things that happening presently with those situations that needed to fix. So for instance, in Brazil X Steel Orchestra, we went to that particular orchestra or their facility, and they didn't have light for 28 years. Pan Trinbago executive after Pan Trinbago executive, administration after administration at the governmental level, couldn't find the solution. Within 3 weeks, we decided that we would do solar lights, and we started there. Words get around that Pan Moving Forward, working with the steel bands, Pan on the Move, which is in the Arima region as well. They would have reached out to us. They also didn't have lights for 23 years. And this was like real, Pan people are nocturnal creatures. We come out in the night. So this is like, what's going on? So we were happy to assist. At this point in time, we're doing that same solar light project in Mayaro, Cadenza. We also did one for a home of a pan tuner. So that is one of the projects. During the COVID, we also did hamper drive, a massive hamper drive.
So just now, let me jump across to the VP for a second. VP, tell me, in terms of, all right, so Pan moving forward, we're doing solar lighting, we assist them with Panyards, but what is the goal?
Well, the goal is to elevate the entire Pan fraternity.
Right.
Right now, the vast majority of the steel orchestras in Trinidad and Tobago are small and single pan bands.
Right.
They are basically unsponsored, and they have been neglected. So our focus now is on raising what we will call the floor of the pan movement.
Right.
The ceiling, the top bands in this country, they are pretty much self-sufficient. They take care of themselves, and they don't basically need Pan Trinbago. So our focus is on the belly of the Pan movement. And that is why we are going into all the communities in Trinidad and Tobago, because we believe that every community in Trinidad and Tobago needs to have a viable, vibrant steel orchestra. As you know very well, a steel orchestra in a community is one of the areas that youth gravitate to. So it has a lot of reasons why we are doing this. This is a national project that we are involved in that has some benefits that, like reduction in crime. You know, in our steel orchestra, we have people that come from pockets of the community now that normally they would not get together.
Right.
But they come into our Panyard now, which is a safe space. Their focus is on music, and there is a community spirit that takes place. So again, to answer your question, our focus now is on addressing the endemic reasons why we have so much crime and problems in this country.
Right.
And we firmly believe that taking care of the majority of the steel bands by giving them some attention, elevating them, making their operation vibrant, we believe that that would solve a lot of the problems and also improve Pan Trinbago.
Let's say, tell me how it improves Pan Trinbago.
All right, so the improvement of Pan Trinbago, we understand that Pan Trinbago is the world governing body of steel pan, right? So hence the reason for the solar lighting project, which is part of the United Nations Development Program initiative for countries to decrease the carbon imprint by 15%, right? So by us highlighting the Panyards, we are also in line with international standards. So by being the world governing body of Steel Pan, Pan Trinbago isn't just the central executive, but every band make up the body of Pan Trinbago. So we came together as band leaders, and we are representing the steel band community.
Right.
And by representing the steel band community, you would find that bands would reach out to us and ask for assistance in other areas. Besides the assistance in other areas, you may be fully aware that the Pan Trinbago elections is on October the 6th. We were even nominated. Members from our group, we have about 30-something members in our group, and members of our group were nominated to run for the Pan Trinbago elections on October the 6th because of the work that we do. We have the restoration projects where we improve the homework center in Panyards. We do the solar lighting, the hamper drive. Across the board, whatever need that the bands requests, we deliver because we believe that the chain is as strong as the weakest link. So all the smaller bands, we take that equitable approach by making sure that no one is left behind, and the stronger the smaller bands are, would be the stronger the entire organization would be.
I could call some bacchanal now.
Well,
Let me call some bacchanal.
we're carnival people, you know, so bacchanal is
Well,
the
I want to
middle
find
name.
out what was the response from the current Pan Trinbago executive when you started to do these projects.
Well, with the hamper drive, you could attest to that. When we saw that the hampers given to bands were like just one per band, we realized that that wasn't enough during that COVID time. So we went to the MPs, the councillors, and we were able to get as many as 20 hampers per steel band in specific areas, you know, and they would see that we are making that effort. So that had a ripple effect. So Pan Trinbago executive now, they stepped in and they started to continue the work that we were doing. So as trendsetters, you know, we were all...
And is it similar with the solar lighting project?
Well,
Where you started the project and have they come on board to say, well, we want to support this initiative?
And it has been a bit of a rival because we always seem to be some sort of threat to what's existing now in the current executive, right? And that we are existing 3 years now within that space. Even going into Pan Trinbago's meeting, we are, you know, we feel uncomfortable in things that they say and do and the way that they approach the meetings as well. But it is what it is. To achieve greatness, you know, you had to go through the fire, and that's what we have been doing for the past 3 years.
Yeah, right. Now, it's very interesting to me. You're saying some of these bands have been without electricity for 20-something years and stuff like that. And I don't know, and so you could forgive me for my ignorance, but is it Pan Trinbago's responsibility to light Panyards?
No, it's not Pan Trinbago's responsibility to light Panyards, but it's Pan Trinbago's responsibility to ensure that their memberships is sought after.
Right.
So whatever, well, at least it would be our intentions when we elected after October 6th.
I love you say when.
When we elected after October the 6th, to take the approach of being servants.
Right.
We want to find out what is your issue, and we want to address those issues, and we want to make sure your band is functioning, because we believe that once there's functioning steel bands in every community in Trinidad, Trinidad and Tobago will be a better place.
Agreed. No two ways about that.
Nice.
But my concern is also, from the time you say you start a steel pan, do you automatically become a member of Pan Trinbago? Do you have to pay membership fees? How does it work?
Yeah. So definitely there's a process. You have to pay membership fees. You have to, they have to make sure that you're functioning, and so on and so on. And so there's a process, and we should have, well, this is also an issue going in 3 or 4 days before election. We still don't have from the administration, which is not usual practice, delegate lists. So we don't know who are financial, who to campaign to. So this is definitely an issue that we are highlighting now. We are asking the current administration, please hand over the delegate list so we would be able to campaign fairly just as they are. So things
But
are
I saw
happening.
delegate lists on Facebook.
Well, the delegate list on Facebook is an old list. So that is from since 6 years ago. So
that's not the current
you're
list.
calling those numbers, and those persons are not the current members and, you know.
Interesting. Mr. Hernandez, how do we mitigate in a situation like you want to help all the Panyards, right? You want to elevate everybody. But we've seen time and time again where when you give people handouts in some cases, we get opportunists who might say, all right, well, we get things, that we just get things, and they don't actually benefit the people in the community. How do we mitigate against that?
Well, first to begin with, Pan Trinbago is an organization of steel bands. A steel band is the member of Pan Trinbago. And what we are looking at now is justice, fair play, and equity, which was mentioned here. Just to underscore a point that Akwil would have made, we have elections coming up here in 4 days. Pan Trinbago has a listing of all of the financial bands. You ask about whether we have to pay dues.
Right.
Yes, there are annual dues to be a financial member of Pan Trinbago. If you are a financial member of Pan Trinbago, you are entitled to 2 delegates, and these delegates attend meetings and conventions and are allowed to vote.
Right.
If you are not financial, then you are not allowed to participate in the voting process.
Okay.
So we would have requested a list of the financial bands as candidates for office. We would have requested that list, and we are being denied that list. However, Pan Trinbago...
But shouldn't that list be public knowledge?
Well, I wouldn't go that far to say whether it's public knowledge or not.
Okay.
But among the membership of Pan Trinbago,
Right.
and remember again that steel orchestras, the bands are the members. The bands should know who the financial members are, and especially candidates vying for office. Why is it that the central executive, which is vying for re-election and is in possession of that list, why aren't they making that list available to other contestants in the elections? In a democracy, I think that is fundamental.
Very interesting. I mean, I don't know what can be done about it days before the election, but...
Well, we need to highlight it so that the public knows and that our membership is aware that the central executive, which is in possession of the list of financial bands and delegates, is denying us, who are also putting ourselves forward to represent them, that we are being denied that. So we are being disadvantaged. And Pan Trinbago executive, who is seeking re-elections, they have that advantage now.
I mean, but you have the advantage of being here in the Now Morning Show, where everybody gets to see you campaign. So all the bands watching the morning show, everybody know whether they're paying or they're not paying, they know they're going up for elections now, right?
And they know that there's some injustice taking place.
Well, that part is allegation. You have not brought any proof on my table, so I'm going to say that part is allegation. Because I'm not getting involved in all the politics, right? Gentlemen, let me say thank you very much for joining us this morning. Congratulations on the solar lighting project, because I do think it is a great initiative, and I think that the Panyards benefiting from it is a plus, and I do look to see more work from you. Whether you win the election or not, I hope that you are able to continue with these projects that do benefit the Panyards, yeah?
We intend to.
All right, fantastic. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Akwil, if you don't mind, you can stick around and play a little pan for me, huh?
I'm a retired panist, but for TTT, yes.
You'll jump on. I appreciate it very much. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and have Akwil on set with his pan, a retired pan man with the pan. Let me take that break and come back. Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show this morning. As we get ready to wrap things up, I want to say thank you so much to all of our guests for joining us this morning. Of course, thank you as well going out to my co-hosts, Natasha Lake and Ianka Will, for being on set. And we continue budget conversations all week long right here on the Now Morning Show and, of course, on the TTT Limited Media Network, so that you can be a part of it. You can get all the updated information as much as possible, and we will give you all of it as much as we can. This morning, to close things off, we've asked Mr. Akwil Arundel. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Akil, but either way, we've asked him to give us a little song to close off the show, and he has acquiesced it, so we are very grateful. And he represents the Sand City Steel Symphony, so this morning we'll close off with Akwil, as I encourage each and every one of you to go out there and make a difference today now, because together we aspire, and if together we perspire, together we most definitely can achieve. Akul, you ready?
Bring it now.
There we go.